Yeah, so the purpose of purpose on a virtual team. I actually think I had a worse title that somebody fixed later, so this is way better than what I started with. It was virtual high fives or something like that. So Formstack is a company that makes it easy to collect data online. So historically, we were started about 8 years ago, and historically we were a very office-based environment. In fact, for the first 6 years of our 8 years, we were completely office-based. And then one day came along that I actually found a developer in Poland and decided, hey, this is a great, somebody I knew and a connection I had, so I wanted to hire him and bring him on. Got our first kind of step into remote work. But then my wife had a great opportunity. I was in Indianapolis. We were working in Indianapolis, and my wife had a great opportunity to move back to Oklahoma, where I'm from, to work with an organization we've been a part of for a long time. And I said, okay, I'm the CEO of the organization. I'll try to pull this off. I'll try to make the move and begin to see, can I run a company remotely? And so that's kind of the super quick story of how we began to go down the remote journey. So today we have about 33 people, and 40% of the team lives outside of Indianapolis, where we have a headquarters kind of office. But even the 60% that remain there, they only come into the office, say, 2 to 3 days on an average week. So one of the first things that we saw immediately in going remote was this mass confusion. So if you've ever taken the 24-hour flight to Asia and you've landed, and if you're from America, you see the traffic and you're like, wow, I have no idea what's going on. If I were here by myself, I'd never get anywhere. So that's what we began to get magnified really rapidly in a remote environment. We also had this lack of trust. So this is what the team looked like before we went remote. And then very quickly, when you go remote, it's like, oh, wow, I could see you beforehand. I could see you sitting behind your computer. You might have been messing around on Facebook, but I could see you, so I assumed you were doing good work. All of a sudden, I don't know if that's the case. And then we had frustration. So does anybody have children? A few children out there? Not you. But yeah, so younger kids, they want food, attention, or sleep. And that was, we were starting to see these very common frustrations from our remote team. And then I got really frustrated and began to work with a mentor. And he took us through this process, which he called the best game. So he wrote a book about it. And over that process, we began to put together, what is our company about? What is our purpose? So we could begin to communicate that to our entire organization. So why? If you're in any organization, you need to understand why you operate, what's your purpose, and people want to know why you do what you do. So for us, we ship inspired software that gets business done. We want to build awesome software, and we want to make sure it gets you back to what your core job is, not that you're spending all your time in our software. Future facts, it's all about vision. Where are you going? What's the goal line? So if this is a game, if you don't know where the goal line is, where you're headed, where you're taking your team, if they don't know, then there's going to be all kinds of confusion and frustration. And so for us, a future fact is something along the lines of, we want to build 5 products, and more than 50% of them, we want none of them to take up more than 50% of our revenue. And then Manifesto. If you're playing a game, you need to understand, how do you play the game? What are the rules for that game? And so one of them for us, one of our top ones, is that we want to plan for and commit to big targets. We want people who are excited about doing really big things and are willing to put plans together to make that happen. And so when we interview people, those are questions we're asking around. What are those values and those manifesto items? So that's kind of the broad and very rapid look at our journey. So after we went through that 18-month process of putting together why we exist, our purpose, our mission, our values, our team has begun to get around that, and we've been able to grow at a more rapid pace. And as we've gone from hiring 2 to 3 people a year to hiring 20 people or 10 people in a very short period of time, we can get them on board very quickly and help them to understand what their purpose is. So if you want a copy of the book that we went through, you can tweet me, text me, email me, whatever. I'll get you a copy of it later. So thanks a lot.